All my life, I was never the favorite. My parents, siblings, uncles, aunties, everyone looked at me like I was a mistake. A burden. Like I was the black stain on a white cloth. My name is Jordan, and I grew up knowing exactly what it meant to be unwanted, unloved, and unseen. From the moment I could speak, I was told to shut up. When I brought home drawings from kindergarten, my mom would sigh and say, "Why can't you be like your brother, Daniel? Always top of the class, not wasting his time with nonsense." My dad, a strict and bitter man, would just shake his head and mumble, "Useless boy." My older siblings. They joined in like it was a sport. Lisa would mock my clothes, call me names, tell people I smelled weird. Daniel would look at me with disgust whenever I came close, and he never missed a chance to remind me that I was adopted, even though I wasn't. It was just their cruel way of saying I didn't belong. I remember my 12th birthday. I asked for a small cake or even just ice cream. They forgot. Or maybe they pretended to. That same day, Lisa got a new phone just for getting a B+ on a math test. I got a slap for asking for leftover pizza. By the time I was 16, I had stopped asking for love. I stopped hoping they would see me. I just did my best to stay invisible. I got a part-time job cleaning tables at a diner and used my money to buy used books and fix old clothes. I studied on my own at night, while my parents laughed in the living room watching movies with my siblings. When I told them I wanted to go to college, my mom laughed so hard she choked on her tea. "With what brain, Jordan?" she asked. "Maybe you can go learn to fix shoes or sweep gutters." I didn't say a word. I just walked away. But something burned in me. Not hatred, but fire. The kind of fire that doesn't go out until it has turned pain into power. That night, I made up my mind. I would leave. I would fight for myself, even if no one else ever would. I applied for scholarships without telling anyone. I worked extra shifts, sometimes overnight, just to save up. When I finally got accepted into a tech institute in another state, with full tuition paid, I packed my bag, left a note that said, "Don't worry. Your failure is leaving," and walked out the door at 3 a.m. No one called. No one texted. Not for days. Not for months. Not even on my birthdays. It was like I never existed. And that hurt. But I didn't let it stop me. The new city was tough, cold, and lonely. I lived in a shared apartment with 2 other students, slept on a thin mattress on the floor, and lived on ramen noodles and canned beans. But I was free. And I was focused. I poured myself into coding, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence. I didn't just want to pass. I wanted to be better than I ever imagined. I wanted to prove to myself that I wasn't a failure. 4 years flew by. I graduated top of my class. I had built a software project that caught the attention of a big tech firm. They offered me a job right out of school. 6 figures. Full benefits. Relocation package. I signed the contract with tears in my eyes. 2 years later, I was leading a team of developers in a startup I co-founded. My app went viral, millions of downloads in weeks. Investors were knocking on my door. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel like the broken boy from that cold, cruel home. One morning, I woke up to over 50 missed calls. My phone kept buzzing. Emails, Facebook messages, even LinkedIn. All from one group of people, my family. Turns out, someone from our hometown recognized me on a tech magazine cover. The headline said, "From janitor to CEO, how Jordan Blake built a billion-dollar empire." Now they wanted to talk. My mom messaged me, "We are so proud of you, son. You've made the family name shine." My dad wrote, "Let's meet. There's so much we need to talk about." Lisa posted on Facebook, "So blessed to have a genius brother like Jordan." I didn't respond. Not yet. Not until I was ready. But karma has a funny way of organizing a show. 6 months later, I was invited to speak at a tech summit back in my hometown. Thousands of people were going to be there. I was the headline speaker. I accepted. And I made sure my entire family got VIP invites. Reserved front row seats, with their names printed in bold. When I stepped onto that stage, cameras flashed, the crowd erupted in cheers, and my heart pounded, not from fear, but from the weight of everything I had survived. I began my speech. I want to tell you all a story, I said, looking straight at my family in the front row. Once upon a time, there was a boy who was told he was nothing. A boy who was laughed at, ignored, humiliated by the very people who were supposed to love him. He was called a failure so many times, he started to believe it. I paused, watching as my mother shifted uncomfortably in her seat. But that boy chose not to stay broken. He chose to rise. Alone. In silence. In pain. And today, that same boy is standing before you, not as a victim, but as a victor. The hall fell silent. I could see Lisa's mouth twitch. Daniel looked like he wanted to disappear. My dad. He couldn't even meet my eyes. I forgave them, I continued. Not because they asked for it. But because I needed peace. I forgave them the moment I stopped needing their approval. After the speech, reporters rushed me. Fans took selfies. Students asked questions. But the only ones I wanted to see were standing quietly in the corner, not knowing whether to run or come closer. My mom approached first. Her voice shook. Jordan, we're sorry. We were wrong. So wrong. We just didn't know. You didn't want to know, I said gently. You saw what you wanted to see. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Lisa tried to hug me. You're amazing. I always knew you were special. No, Lisa, I said calmly. You didn't. But it's okay. I'm not here to punish you. Daniel stepped forward. Can we start over? I looked at him and smiled sadly. I already did. You're welcome to catch up. That was the last time I ever begged for love from anyone. Today, I live in a glass mansion overlooking the ocean. I've built schools for kids from broken homes. I mentor young boys who feel invisible. I make sure no one else has to feel the way I did. But most of all, I carry no bitterness. Just pride. Because sometimes, the best revenge is not proving them wrong, it's becoming everything they said you could never be.